Okay, guys, welcome back to the Crypto Wave. It's about midnight, exactly, actually, September 4th, 2021. Pretty late. Sorry, I'm a little exhausted here, but want to do a video. If you guys haven't seen my previous videos, there's a game coming out called Staratlas. Coming out on the Solana network. Well, big news coming from them, actually. I know it's been a while since I've updated, but there's so many other projects I've been talking about. This one in particular is just got absolutely epic potential, and I'll show you why in just a moment. First and foremost, let's take a look. They did just finish all their IDOs and raises. They had some private sales. I was able to full disclosure, I was able to get into one of the private sales for a small amount. Nothing significant. However, it turns out it may be a pretty significant kind of going forward, because I'll show you what the pricing and such looks like here in just a minute. But they did have a raise on what was called Apollo X. They also had a raise over here on the accelerator on Radium. Those not familiar with Solana Network, Radium is the one. There's quite a few over there, but it's one of the bigger ones over on the Solana Network for trading tokens. Consider it kind of the pancake swap of Solana. Well, they did raise, as you can see here, the IDO, and they started trading on the 2nd. That's where this tweet came out from. They also traded, so Radium is decentralized. They also went on the centralized exchange FTX, Staratlas and POLIS. Now, the last time I did a video, I don't think I talked about POLIS much. Oh, excuse me. But Atlas is, in essence, the in-game currency. So if you imagine any game that you typically play where you're going to be buying and selling goods, buying and selling items, buying and selling vehicles, whatever the case may be, anything currency related within the game is going to be Atlas. What we didn't talk about before was Polis. Polis is another token. It's part of the 2-token system of Staratlas. And what does Polis do? Well, Polis is kind of serves as two separate things, one in-game and one out-of-game. In-game, it's going to be the governance token. In essence, you can kind of dominate within the game either financially, by war, or by, with the different factions, or by governance or politics. The Polis token is going to serve as that political token within the gaming system, but it also serves as the DAO on the outside. So as of right now, Staratlas is pretty dang centralized, which is understandable because this is a very huge, ambitious project. However, from the CEO, he's actually mentioned quite a few things on different AMAs and things that he is going to be, or not he, but they, as the Staratlas team, will slowly give more and more of the decision making to those who hold the governance token Polis. In essence, how the game will go forward, any type of expansions or extensions and various things will start falling more onto the DAO and less on the, excuse me, I keep yawning, less on the centralized entity of Staratlas. In essence, the goal is to make Staratlas independent and running on its own. It's going to be its own metaverse with its own currency, its own governance, all being controlled by community, which is absolutely amazing. So let's talk token a little bit more here. So when it was released, the Atlas token was released at 0.0004448, something like that. Let's go back in time here. This is on FTX specifically. Let's go back in time. So it released, it was 0.00, well, somewhere in the 0.001 range is when it was released. The pre-sale was slightly below that. Well, if you look at the moment, it's currently trading at 23 cents, well over 200x. So it's getting a ton of hype. And again, this is the Atlas token specifically. It's just been on an absolute tear, a little bit of a dip right now, which is understandable. You got to get those who are going to sell, especially if you got into the pre-seed and such. But absolute tear, not financial advice. Would you buy it versus would you not? I've been watching this since it released on the 2nd. It's been going about 48 hours now. I grabbed it right around 8 cents because it had this moment of just kind of steady right here. And this was just kind of riding along, and I was like, it's either going to pop up or pop down. Either way, I'm going to take it because I need some currency for the game. I absolutely want to play this game when it comes out. So it kind of paid off. I ended up buying in, and boom, it started taking off here. How high is it going to go? Who knows? The more adoption, it's like anything else. The more adoption, the more people play the game, the more this token is going to be worth. The other one that just went absolutely ballistic was this Polis token. So the Polis token, when it was launched, or when it was released, it started at just about 19 cents. It's now at about $17. Now market cap, or I'm sorry, not market cap, but circulating supply Polis token is way less. I don't remember the numbers right offhand, but I think it's about a 10-fold difference of circulating supply. So in essence, the Polis token is going to be a less circulating supply than the Atlas token, which makes sense because the Atlas token is currency. So huge value here. Would you buy now? Hard to say. I honestly am going to try and buy these things up anytime I see a nice decent dip. The other thing you have to think about is a lot of the pre-sales and a lot of the people who got in prior to listing got in, and their first release happens on the 7th. So 3 days from now, you're going to start getting all these pre-sale people who are at this point up about 200-300x from their pre-sale price. You're going to see this, well, I can't say you're going to, but my anticipation is you're going to see this dip down pretty decent on that 7th, and that'll probably be my next buy opportunity there. And then it'll, after that, it's most of them have a 1 to 2 year vesting period, so it's going to be a very slow release after that. So I don't think whatever big dip you're going to see from pre-sale, I think you're going to see in 3 days. So just keep an eye on that. If it doesn't dip, so be it. A lot of people may just end up holding it. If they do, either way, just make sure you watch your graphs and just kind of find a good entry when you get into it. So those are the tokens themselves. Let's jump over to some of the stuff that they've been working on. If you guys have followed my channel, you know that I got in and was trying to buy up the events of the Rebirth Genesis. And these were NFTs that were being sold. And one of the main reasons I want to get into them is, one, because they're pretty cool, and two, they're no longer going to be produced after that time of being in production. 3, the more you got into these different tiers, and within these tiers, they would do an airdrop of various items to you that you can use in the game. And the Staratlas, anything in the game is going to be an NFT. So vehicles, equipment, weapons, I mean, anything you can think of, buildings are all going to be NFTs that you can buy, sell, and trade within the gaming system itself. So I fortunately was able to get into the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. So I did fit into the tier 1 area here. Unfortunately, I missed this one. I missed the 4th one, which is okay because I probably couldn't afford the next one, and so I wouldn't have been in the tier 2 anyways. But I did get enough for tier 1. So when you go over to play.staratlas.com and you come over to inventory, they did airdrop me a couple of different things. I got these cool 4 ships, which I'll be able to utilize in the game. I got these 5 structures, which I'll be able to utilize in the game. I did get a couple licenses and badges and things like that. And then I got some collectibles with pets, and then the actual, obviously, the NFTs here that I purchased. So those are all going to be bought and sold. You can trade them on the marketplace. But for the most part, you can actually use them in-game as well. Those will be the actual buildings, from my understanding, that you'll be utilizing in the game to mine and travel and do various things. So big things coming from Staratlas. Last but not least, I do want to mention one more thing. I'm going to show you 2 quick videos because they are using the Unreal Engine 5. Anybody's familiar with Unreal Engine? It's kind of the go-to for a lot of gaming platforms and things. Well, the Unreal Engine 5 is just released, I believe, this year. And in essence, it lets you do real-time kind of cinematographic graphics rendering with a brand new technology. I won't get into it, but in essence, it lets you start creating more realistic cinematographic gameplay as well as in-game play that's going to be a lot more fluid and realistic. Well, they did release a couple of different things. The first one was a trailer, and let's go ahead and check this one out first. I want you to see it, and then I'll show you kind of their teaser after this.
Legend has it that somewhere on the other side of space is a diamond the size of a planet. And everyone is out to find it. So I guess it all comes down to one thing. Who will find it first?
super cool. So that's kind of like they did a little teaser trailer thing there, and then they did another one. I'm gonna show you this one here. Oh no, that's not. Where is it? This guy here. Let's take a look at this one real quick, real short. But I just want to kind of show you what type of cinematography and stuff this is involving. Captured in engine, as you can see. At any rate, pretty amazing stuff. So if you guys haven't been paying attention, I definitely would suggest, in fact, this one in particular that's popping up on my screen, Josh Cross, he did an AMA a little while ago, actually, with the CEO, and they talked about all kinds of stuff, the metaverse, what's involved, what happens to the NFTs. If your NFT is a ship and it blows up, what do you do with it? What about the tokens? What are they going to be used for? I mean, there's a huge question and answer and lots of AMAs out there. So if you haven't checked it out, I would suggest you do so. That is my quick update on Staratlas. It's going to be absolutely epic in my opinion. I cannot wait for this thing to launch on, I believe, September 7th. Don't quote me. Make sure you go into Discord and Telegram to confirm. But on September 7th, not only are they going to be releasing some of those pre-seeds to some people, but I believe they're going to start doing a in-browser mini game. So you can start kind of getting the feel for that. So I'm absolutely looking forward to that. Anyways, that is that, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen. So I appreciate you tuning in. Definitely, when you get a chance, go over to staratlas.com, start exploring around a little bit, get familiar with it, join the Telegram, join the Discord, and let's just kind of see where this thing goes. I'm really excited for it.